Hi all, yeah, I'm having to do a video today because I've not been having much time lately, and it's probably the longest I've been without sort of practice, specific, what I would call specific deliberate practice sessions. So I'm looking forward to getting back on it and really getting in the swing of the training for leading up to Q school next year. So I've got loads of time to prepare, but we're just going to fit it in, get the board fitted at work, bits and pieces that I just need to do to get some early mornings in and get some time in, really, just where I've been unwell. As you can hear, I'm probably still not sounding quite as I should. But yeah, all going in the right direction. And I just want to do this video. I've been requested this by quite a few people. Just some basic stretches. If you're not the sort of person who's going to be putting in, sort of some serious practice hours, and you're just do the odd thing, it probably is. Go and watch some cat videos or something. It's probably not relevant to you, but for me, this is one of the most important parts I've sort of realised, quite early on in the 10,000 hours experiment. When you're doing, I would say, anything more than working a normal job and then doing like at least three extra hours a week of practice. Even that, obviously, I've been doing up to sometimes 20 hours a week practice, but it's been in long sessions which not many people are doing over sort of 3, 4, even 5, 6 hour sessions in one go, which takes a big toll on your body. And I realised that, and it put me out for sort of 2 months, because I thought I could just do this practice heavy sessions which make a massive difference to your game. But I thought I could do that, and because darts isn't one of them sports that's sort of really high intensity or anything like that, I thought I'd get away with it. I didn't think it would even affect me, but it did. So I had to sort of work with a physio, and the ones I'm going to quickly go through are, I've worked with them, a physio. I see a physio once a month basically, and I have done. And since I've done that and done these sort of stretches, no matter how much I've sort of practiced, it's not affected me. But it got to the point where I was having breathing problems. My neck was like really tight, and I really couldn't do a lot at all. So just a sort of word of warning: if you are going to sort of do some more serious practice sessions, even on top of what you're normally doing, you got to stretch, you got to look after your body, So I'm going to be doing some other stuff going over the next year, a sort of plan I've got in place, which should help. But these are a couple of basic sort of stretches that can really help just loosen your muscles up. And sometimes nothing worse than if you're playing and you're going to a tournament and you feel a bit tight. It's worth doing, even the morning before you get there. I wouldn't recommend doing these right before you start playing, because sometimes when you sort of stretch out your muscles, you can throw a little bit differently, which might put you off. So if you are going to do these, do them sort of straight after a sort of decent session, or straight after playing a long tournament, or before, or well before, at least half an hour before. So right, so stretch number one, this was one that really is quite important to me doing. Everyone's body's different, everyone's body reacts different to practice and heavy sessions, but for me, this is one I can't go without. So basically all you do is you start off by, if you tilt your head to one side and you start off, imagine you've got the way your neck turns, it's split into about 8 different sections. So you've got a section over here, section over here, here, and so on. So what you want to do is feel the tightness of the muscles here, which are quite long, intense muscles going all out. And you just want to hold them to the point where you start to feel them being a bit tight, and then you want to hold them there for at least 20, 25, 30 seconds. If you do it for like 10 seconds, it's not long enough. It's not long enough to stretch the muscles out. So you have to do it for a little bit longer. What you don't want to do is pull really hard and do it so it's intense but not painful. So just back it off a little bit if you need to. But you want to go around each section of your neck, not rolling. You just want to do one section. So this part, hold it, and obviously do it for a bit longer, so for at least sort of 30 seconds, and then move to the next bit. So now you're doing the front back to the side here, and then obviously go all the way around. So I would say 8 different points of your neck. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And obviously this one's really important. So going back, chin to chest, all the way down, and holding that, so you've got a nice long stretch in your back of your neck. Because depending on what your throw's like, my throw, I stand quite, quite sort of, my neck turns slightly. So bear in mind, if you're throwing for, even if you was throwing for 2 hours, but I've done ones where I'm throwing for 5 hours and stuff like that, you're sometimes tensing up your neck, and all of this is unbalanced. So you've got to stretch this out, because if you just leave this and just tense, you're gonna cause problems. So that's the sort of stretch number one. Stretch number two, it's really a breathing exercise as well as a stretch. So this is one that it's not so much a stretch, it's more a good way to reset. So if you're in a match or you're just playing a match and you're not feeling that great, you can do a mini version, a shortened version of this during a match, which might just click you into action and get you going when you need to go. It's an easy way to reset. But the long version is, so what you do, so you feel your body. You know, you might have been practicing for a little while, and you just close your eyes, take a really deep breath in, feel yourself expand. And then as you come in and release the breath, just feel yourself relax, feel your shoulders drop. So you're really pulling your shoulders in, really trying to focus on relaxing all your shoulder muscles, all your trapezius, your anterior deltoid, all them muscles. Do it, and do that about 5 times. So you're really feeling you're going up, and then releasing all your body, so you're relaxing all them muscles. So that will really help, you know, over a period of time. If you do them two on every time you sort of train, it will really help just undo any sort of tension you've put in your arm, especially if you're preparing for a tournament and you're doing lots of sessions and stuff like that, and then you're going to play and then you're really tight, and that's going to affect the way you play. So that's when it's really important to do before you go up to a match, you know, whether it's online, in the pub, whatever it is. So that's what, and a shortened version of that, you could do it in a match where as soon as you've had your throw, let's say you've thrown a 26, then you've thrown a 7, it's all going wrong. As you're walking away from the offie, just stand behind the offie, and just before, when your opponent's maybe practicing, just shut your eyes, and just feel the tension release from your body. That can sometimes make you help you get that double. The amount of times I've done that when I've not been playing well, and then all of a sudden doubles first in, and you've just reset yourself. So that's a really, really good one that I've found that really helps in terms of just to kind of reset yourself. And stretch number 3, which I'm going to come to, is actually more about your arm. A lot of people, again, if they do sessions and they do practice sessions, even in a short way, especially if you've not been playing that long, you might find that your arm does get a little bit tired or a little bit tense when you go to play, and you don't know why. You know, I've found that from doing heavy practice sessions, then going to play, say the next day, your arm's in pieces, you know, but you might not even feel it. You just can't throw straight, you know, or you've not got the timing quite right, and that could be just because your muscles overworked. It's like if you played in a football match and you played for 2 days straight, then go and play the second day, the touch you're gonna lose it a little bit. So it's the same theory of darts, it's just less intense, it's more of a smaller muscle group. So really this one, I'm trying to step back a little bit to do this one. So this one, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna push your arm out, straight out like this, nice and wide, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna release all these muscles here. So pull these back a little bit so you can feel this nice stretch here, and then you want to just rotate out and just do it so it gets to a really, really nice point with a nice deep stretch in here, and you'll feel it all the way down the back and all the way down the back here. And then you want to hold that, you know, for at least 10-15 seconds, and then relax, and then you want to go back again and then go the other way. When you're doing this, just make sure you're holding it for the right amount of time. So you're at least sort of 15 seconds, 20 if more, but it will feel uncomfortable the first sort of time you do it. But if you get in the habit of doing it, it's going to come a lot easier. So you want to just, in this side, hold it there. So you're really twisting into it, not really back, not really intensely, but just so you can feel a nice pull on both sides of these muscles, and then relax out, you know, give it a shaker, and then back the other way. You know, and that will really, really help, you know, but don't do that before you do a match. I promise you, I've tried it and it doesn't help because you're releasing their muscles. You want to do it, give yourself at least half an hour, or do it after. You know, don't do it just before you go into a match, because I promise you it will affect what you're doing. But if you do it before, you know, half an hour, even in the morning when you wake up, before a day of a tournament or a day you play, it will help you. Because all their muscles really, really, they're the ones that when you actually release the point of the dart, the ones that fire to make sure you release at the right time. So they've got to be supple. I mean, I did get a massager. It does help if you're doing, you know, if like going to Q school, I'll probably use it then. Challenge tour weekends, I've used it. It does help if you get really tight there. But for most people, unless you're doing back-to-back days of playing sort of quite a lot and practicing quite a lot, you probably don't need that. You just need to sometimes stretch out and keep yourself going, you know. So that gives you a bit of an idea. One other thing I was going to say in this video, where we're talking about sort of looking after yourself and you know, getting to peak performance, really, is one thing I've found is depending on what I actually, I mean, I don't drink when I play, so I've set out that from day one. I drink when I don't play and enjoy myself, but when I play I don't, because I know how sometimes alcohol could affect the muscles over several days. But I know a lot of people do, and obviously that's part of darts and it's a big part of it. All I'd say is try to, what I've noticed from watching people who do sort of drink and play, obviously it's a relaxant, it does relax you, but one of the biggest things I see all the time, whatever level it is being able to manage your drink to the correct level. To get the best out, but if you're just doing it for a good time and have a laugh and just to do whatever, great, do what you want, you know. But if you're trying to enjoy yourself, but also, you know, play your best darts, then you've got to get to a point where you manage your drinking, or you manage your drink, even if you don't drink. I know, you know, depending on what I drink, if I drink a fizzy drink, sometimes it will affect my performance. It sounds really stupid, but it does. I've known it from several times, whether it doesn't agree with me because I don't drink it a lot. That affects, so I drink sort of orange juice, or you know something else, water, whatever it may be. But for a lot of people who drink, I see so many people, they drink something, you know, that doesn't quite agree with them. They'll have too much of it and then they'll throw badly, but they're a great player. So they've done themselves out of maybe an extra section of the tournament or an extra match just from not managing it properly, you know. So that's all I would say is, from my experience watching other people and knowing myself, is manage what you're doing to get the best result. Measure it, you know, try drinking less one day, try drinking a little bit more one day, and try and find that sweet spot in your game, you know. Some people have been playing a long time and all they really need is to tweak it a little bit and they're going to go to that next sort of level. So that's what I've learned a lot, and again, you know, for me, I'm still learning all the time, but I thought I'd share this with you guys because a lot of people have asked about that sort of thing and trying to, you know, improve what they're doing. And one other thing actually really, really important, which I've learned, is if you're going to any sort of tournament, even if a small tournament, it's really, really, one of the most important things is making sure your arm is warm. When I say warm, it's you've had a good practice before you start to actually play your match. So you could be, Challenge Tour is a really good example, but when you're going there, if you time it wrong, and you're at a similar level to someone, and you time the practice that you have in, and you don't look at your board, you just get called out, you go to your board, and you haven't had enough of a warm-up and you're only throwing 9 darts, I promise you, it will make a difference. And that might be the difference between you winning and losing. Instead of you going up there having, you know, half an hour practice, you're warm, you get called to the board, you're already firing, you know, there's no nerves there because you're in the flow, you know. It takes a little while. For me, it takes around 30-40 minutes to warm up really properly, so I start getting a real tight grouping. For some people, I know it takes 5-10 minutes, but everybody's body's different, so you've got to work out what you're doing and fit it to that. So I hope that helps, and I'll catch you all soon.